In terms of breath work, I started meditating with a box method where I inhaled for 4 seconds. I held that for 4 seconds. I exhaled for 4 seconds and I held that for 4 seconds. And I repeated that process over and over again until the timer went off on my Medito app. It's not mine. I started out with that and I have switched to a different form of meditation. I like to think of it as the classical meditation. It's a basic form of meditation. It's very simple. All you do is you take deep breaths and you just try to focus on your deep breathing for as long as possible. I love this meditation method because of the immense amount of focus it can build and the relaxation from the deep breathing. Sometimes I will go outside in nature, in my garden, and instead of focusing on the breath, I will focus on the noises of nature around me. The birds singing, the leaves rustling in the wind. In terms of posture and how I am seated, I did start out with meditating cross-legged. And bear in mind, I started out meditating for about 5-10 minutes and I gradually increased this. But then when I got to about 20-30 minutes, I noticed that I'd get a bit of back pain or numbness in my feet, a bit of soreness in my feet from my weight all on my legs. And it wasn't good, it wasn't bad pain, it was like a good discomfort. It was like soreness from just training and it wasn't like overuse. But this is very difficult because you need to keep yourself upright. You don't want to slouch over. So now I rarely meditate while I'm cross-legged, but I do actually recommend it to you. It makes it a lot harder, but at the end of the meditation session, you feel more rewarded. If I'm not meditating cross-legged, I'll meditate just simply by sitting in a chair. Yeah, it's as simple as that. I'll sit in a chair, but I'll make sure my posture is nice and straight. I make sure I don't sit down with my posture like this. I make sure my shoulder blades are like on the back of the chair, or if there's no back support, I'll keep my shoulders back. Because that is essential. You don't want to be breathing like this, with your posture like this. It's very difficult to take deep breaths if your shoulders are rounded. You want to keep your shoulders back. So if you can, meditate while seated cross-legged. It is difficult, it makes it harder. And I think it is better to meditate like that. It also like requires a bit of mobility. It does build mobility too and flexibility in your hips and legs. And there's other like ways you can sit, of course, that I need to research because I haven't done a lot of research into meditation, but like I've seen the ways you can sit, and some of them they seem a lot easier than just the simple cross-legged way. They seem like the weight is distributed across your legs evenly, which does seem like it will produce less pain on like the ankles and feet. If you would like to do different types of meditation, you can use the Medito app. It is a fantastic app. There's many courses on it. There's many different types of like sessions. You can meditate on gratitude, on love, on sympathy, empathy, all that, these different feelings. And I think it's really good to try them. I've like done maybe 70% of the whole thing. And I think it's good to try it to see if you will prefer one sort of meditation over another. Because of course, if you want to start a new habit like meditation, you need to have some sort of passion in it. You need to be interested. You need to do it in a way that you enjoy. So with breath work, I've covered that. I just take deep breaths. How I'm seated, I'm sat on a chair, sometimes cross-legged. And where you can meditate, or I meditate at home. Sometimes I meditate in the car or on the plane if I'm having a long journey. But make sure you're in a safe place, because like usually, and I haven't actually covered the eyes, but usually I'll close my eyes so you don't really know what's going on around you. So it's best to be in a safe place, of course, not in the public. in a private area. But also, I meditate with my eyes closed. And when you think of meditation, you'll probably think of someone with their eyes closed taking breaths and sitting in a cross-legged position, maybe with like their fingers like that. But when you do the courses on Medito, they will ask you, oh yeah, for this session we're going to meditate with our eyes open. It's actually quite interesting. It's a bit weird because you never think of that, and it is easier to lose focus because sometimes you might feel inclined to, oh, look at, there was something on the wall, look at something that you may have changed in the nature, something may have moved in the tree or something. But this is actually really good because it just poses as another challenge. But if there's a challenge in our way, that means we must level up our focus to get over and past that challenge, that obstacle. So meditating with your eyes open can be tough, but also quite interesting and fun, because you can also like look at your surroundings. If the nature in front of you is beautiful, it is gonna be definitely worth it to meditate with your eyes open. You can like focus on one point for the whole session, like the tree, an animal, grass, anything, literally anything that is nice, that anything that looks nice, that is aesthetic in nature. That's how I meditate. I do recommend Medito to check out different forms of meditation to see what fits your sort of style, what you like, and accept, adapt, and overcome.